Hey y'all, somebody asked for the chords, the names of the chords for Space Oddity, and since I don't know the names of them, I thought it might be easier to just run through it for you. So what we're going to do is play along with it, then I'll stop it. Every time a new part comes up, I'll show you how that part is done. But to start with, it's in standard tuning, and you're going to start with this intro. Okay, so this is the live Santa Monica 72 one, which is actually a little bit more up-tempo than the studio version, but it's the same chords. So this first one is take an E and go up 1 fret with it. And on that chord I don't play the low E, I'm just concentrating on those other 5 strings. To an E minor. So it goes through several of those, I don't know how many. So it'll go to this thing, this E thing up 1 fret, to an E minor. And then when it goes into the verse, so just take your, make that D string open on the E minor chord to give it an E minor 7 as a transition into the C. Right, and you can see in clips of Bowie, when he plays a C, he tends to play the low E string at the 3rd fret for that low G note. I tend to not play him that way, but he does. So it's C, ground control to major tom, E minor, C to E minor. So that we're going to go through that part so far, and I'll stop it. Not yet.
Ground control to major tom. Ground control to major tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control.
Alright, so that was C to E minor, ground control to major tom, ground control to major tom. A minor, this is the take your protein pill part. A minor, then take your ring finger off the G string, so G string's now open. Still fingering that A minor. Instead, you put your ring finger on the low G note, so that's E string at the 3rd fret. So now you have a fretted G note and an open G note for like an A minor 7 chord. Take your protein pills and D. Put your helmet on as a D. Now it's going to go back into the verse on a C to E minor again.
To major tom. Commencing countdown, engines on.
Just end it on that D. It's going to come back into a C to E7 to A minor. I think it's just C to E7, but we'll get it.
This is ground control to major tom. Really make the grade.
Okay, so that's after the, the rocket ship goes up, and there's do C, this is ground control to E7 to major tom to F, not A minor, F. You might do like that. And it's time F minor now. You know, that's that. C. So back to F if you dare. Da, da, da. Another F minor to C. Back to F. Now it's going to start up again to C to E7 again.
This is Major Tom's ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For me, am I sitting waiting above the world? And it's obvious blue, and there's nothing I can do.
Okay, so that part is goes through a few more of these C to E7 to F to F minor, C, F, and then when it gets to that full, it goes from F to E, that same opening chord you did for the intro. So on your F, just keep fingering the F, but do the high. The high E string and the B open. So you're still back to that E chord that's moved up a fret now. That's just an E minor 7. So you do a full E minor and then the B string at the 3rd fret. You know that? And then B flat. This is planet Earth is blue. B flat to A minor. And there's nothing G I can F do. So that sequence again is B flat major, regular B flat, you bar like that, to A minor, to G, to F. Now this is this part. What that is C to F to G to A. He actually would do it, I think. Do them as basically as bar chords without barring it. But I just do it this way: C, F, G, A. And now this middle part. I'll show you the chords and then we'll play it. This is when the guitar solo or bass solo, whatever that is, sort of comes in. So it's that first opening chord again, that E thing, moved up a fret. Now that, I don't know what you call it, but I play it as a regular G with the, B string covered at the 3rd fret, so you have that D note. And then the high E string at the 5th fret. So it would go. You could play it like this too, I guess. An F moved up to G and then cover that high. The main thing is to make sure you got the high E string covered at the 5th fret for that A note. But I would do it as this. That's an A. As if you were barring an A, but instead you're only doing the 4 highest strings of the A chord with an open A string. So you can see where it's going with this. It's doing this, and then with that A note, right? And then still got that A note covered, then this. Still got the A note, then this. Still got the A note. So that's sort of that's why you need to have that note in there. However you do this G chord, you got to have that note in there. So it goes this thing, A. I don't know what you call this, but it's A and D strings at the 3rd fret, and then G, B, and E at the 5th fret. Or you could do it like that. Almost like you're barring a C chord, but leave the G string at the 3rd fret instead of barring at the 5th, and then cover that high E string at the 5th. So now you got this, that, this A, this, so that's a D something or other. It's bark all the way across, A through high E, and then the D and the G are up at the 7th. So these are all at 5th. Those are at the 7th. So now your B and your E, your high E, are at the 5th, and then ends on an E. Just suspending that G string up to the 2nd fret. So once again, we'll go through that chord sequence again. This thing, then the G with the A note covered, or like this, whichever way you want to do it. So that when we come into it, I think we're going to be at this part or close to it. Okay, so it goes through that whole sequence, and then it goes across C 100,000 miles to E7, same thing we've been doing, to F, F minor, C, F, and you do that sequence one more time. So this is the 2nd time through, and then it does. Alright, so after that 2nd F you go G, ground control, to major tom, E7, major tom, your circuit's dead, A minor, there's something wrong, same thing we did with the A minor before. Can you D hear me major tom, can you hear me major tom? Now this 2nd one is like you're playing a C, so it's the A string 3rd, D string 2nd, B and E string at the 3rd. Can you hear me major tom? That's a regular G. Major tom. Can you hear? Now it's back into that mystery chord. E minor 7. Back to that F thing. E minor 7. B flat. A minor. G, F. And then you go through another one of those. All the way through to the outro on this live version anyway. That's how it ends. I think the studio one just fades out on those chords. But that's everything to it. This was pretty quick and down and dirty, but if you just break it up and then listen along to it, you'll get the hang of it. Good luck.